Torah tradition, written in the Mishnah. Gay parade about to be the new Hare Krishna. Looking for a putty tat, not a dick shoved in. You didn't listen, now you succotash suffering. Activists need boss skippable boo-hoo. Kotaku omae wa motion deiru. Nintendo with patents presiding. No ball summons, no poke gliding. Banned for a teabag, painfully queer. Only real women need a pap smear. Marathon bombs and gay design flounders. We don't care what you call a quarter pounder. Only nice thoughts say HBO clowns. Is that an opinion? Get taken down. Only thing erect around here is a statue. Skinny woke cult gotta signal virtue. Enderman steal and Enderman fight. Brain rot Gen Z race swap on site. Rockstar selling sexy, less lectures. Mock corporations, gay architecture. White smoke mean a new pope is elected. Hit the like button, keep Gaio selected. Gears of War on PS5. Halo up next, objective, survive. Hello, beta testers. Like, subscribe, comment, and join if you appreciate whatever unique flavor I contribute to the gaming conversation. Get this video to 4,000 likes and I'll give up the track that initially played that I'm sure some of you are curious about. On the live stream reacting to GTA 6's trailer, the one that's still available in case you missed it, the jiggle physics delighted me as the middle finger that it was to an era so woke and suffocating in its ugly and pronoun push that the developer for a skateboarding game speaks like this.
Points, I think self-expression, accessibility, and inclusivity are definitely the core of skate culture. And I really like how skateboarding is providing a platform where everyone is encouraged to explore and push their boundaries without gender limitation.
Self-expression, accessibility, and inclusivity, helping you to push boundaries in the skateboarding game without gender limitations. I'm constantly plagued by the sad fact that a console Simpsons game has not come out since 2007, yet here EA is Amber herding in the bed with a skateboarding game they can't kick out inside a fucking decade. We are 2 years away from a 20-year space with no Simpsons games thanks to EA, who previously were all in on this mobile Simpsons tapped out game before the plug was pulled. But if I'm honest with myself, of course I don't want a Simpsons game until we're well past this woke era where Apu is too controversial when he was the heart of some of the show's most poignant episodes considering the current climate.
Because of illegal immigrants. That's right. Illegal immigrants.
Immigrants, I knew it was them.
As immigrants get deported, there'll be a lot more elbow room for regular Joes like you and me, Apu.
I am an immigrant.
You were stuck to think it might affect someone I cared about. You know what, Apu? I am really gonna miss you.
But honestly, the more pressing concern for some people is freaking out about AI because they can definitely stop the way things are moving, the same way horse enthusiasts stopped cars from becoming the popular and preferred mode of transport. Not to all, to most. Most is what we're talking about. New Pope has been selected and their past views are controversial to some, but to people like me, the reality is a political party arranged entry for murderers and kid diddlers who made things infinitely worse in this country for anyone dark enough to be exclusively represented in the kind of failed programming guaranteeing the collapse of generations-old industry. And in some cases, how can I care? But in some, damn, man. You need to dilute this alcohol, you know it's going to have an effect. That's all some of these people have. We use video games as an outlet, but some people are fascinated with cars or sports to take the drink that they tie one on and get their rocks off with. You're really evil. My beta testers and I should have been waist deep in video games that were well on track to effortlessly claim the titles previously bestowed to universally accepted fine art, but the regression that activists have imposed, the dogs and neo-Marxists they are, in their narcissism, have established with what they call progressive. These days we can't have thoughts on a TV show or a video game without them instantly being targeted and taken down. What terrifying speech and the effect that you believe it may have. Certainly they/them objects to the abuse of such power, especially over something so vital or valid, to use their favorite term, but it becomes clear that it's not about what people say or do, but about whose side they are on or whom they agree with. In the midst of legal proceedings with Nintendo, Palworld will be forced to patch out or remove the ability to glide with pals. Excuse me. So that's a no gliding using a pal and no summons using the pal spheres or, Pokeballs. And it makes you wonder what other aggressive patents Nintendo may hold that might manifest when a popular enough Animal Crossing or Pokemon clone takes shape. I've mentioned Flotopia and upcoming Hoyoverse projects that are trying to be in the vein of Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, and you have to wonder, are they gonna get in trouble? I've mentioned Azure Promelia in the past from Azure Lane developers and DokeV from Pearl Abyss, who's currently in the midst of Crimson Desert's launch. They'll be incorporating pocket-sized monsters of their own. Will they face scrutiny? You have to wonder if the popularity will have everything to do with it. Modern audience developers are so woke that they're making models more trans, they're covering up female statues and editing female clothing, even in games from 20 years ago, that their unoriginal and uncreative asses are remaking, effectively porting, something that existed well before them, that was beloved, because of exactly the poison that is absent. Because of these creepy political losers not existing, at least in this capacity at that time. And you're compromising the escape, the entertainment, the outlet. You should be ashamed of yourself. Fuck you. And if it's not enough, of course we have to hear you whining about how people modify what they own in a harmless way to play in the comfort of their own home, completely cut off from other people. But that bothers you. The fact that it's available, it doesn't align with your political views. You need it to represent so hard that it dies. This is the angry piss ant at Stellar Blade. The cringe that's just bubbling up. Manifesting in losers triggered enough by teabagging for someone at this point to now be facing a 72-hour ban. Because of what used to be as common as a handshake among gamers playing games like Halo that DEI and greed killed. Halo was a cultural phenomenon reduced to ash that you have to genuinely worry about ever being able to phoenix out of that, because what if they pull more Dragon Age Bethesda tier downgrades because someone's offended and asses must be flattened? Microsoft goes out of their way to avoid and discourage what it classes as exaggerated body proportions, but only for the polygons assembled in female form, because that's problematic. Inclusion to them means excluding the majority in favor of exclusively the repulsive minority. Whether it's wheelchairs or vitiligo or whatever they unsubtly class as ugly, so that the pretty isn't privileged. Muscly men fine though, right? As I say in one of the raps, flatten all the asses and prioritize the top scars. The only kind of heroin for BioWare is black tar. In a clip from years ago, I teased a developer categorizing emotes in a game after being killed as harassment. And that's exactly where we are. This shit into the ground. Have you seen these people online likening teabagging to the fucking Holocaust? Wow, get the fuck out of this industry. Ew, my god. These people no doubt are probably offended by emotes in Fortnite. He killed me and is doing a dance. This is harassment. I'm being killed. I'm being murdered. Help. These companies hire psychologists to trick their customers and keep them in check. But you can't trick talent into these developers. Oh, rats. You are free to allow this nonsense to fester and metastasize, but with everything desperately vying for subscription power, expect your access and privilege to be readily revoked when you become unfavorable. And expect it to be as swift and harsh as the EOMM in my Marvel Rivals lobbies, making sure that nobody else ults and that we're effectively trapped in spawn unless I'm playing on my main. It's always the same people begging for their way over others, claiming gamers are intolerant when they can't tolerate any way but their own. So of course it is a delight to see them crippled in the wake of GTA, choosing the majority in pleasing. Even though to many whom were in attendance, they consider it a bait and switch. None of us believe that these things won't make it into the final release of the game. So the fact is, we're getting exactly what we want, and we'll have more by the time culture shifts further still in the direction of normalcy and away from whiny, poor nobodies who don't believe in anything enough to support it and lack passion enough to attach themselves to anything that they can't immediately gain attention from by trying to ruin. The numbers are crazy. And big money has hidden the dislikes and pages and allowed for the abuse of fair use and rights that we would otherwise have access to. But in truth, the data paints a clear picture. And the future will cater to this data or cease to be. I'm glad people are enjoying what they have access to now, but I'm glad that GTA has been forced to make the choices that indicate gaming's imminent future. People are getting their hands on Crimson Desert out at PAX. Summer will line up all of the titles that devs were worried previously GTA would overshadow, and they'll be able to announce it, and hopefully your escapes can get back to being entertaining. Thank you for your likes and support, which enable me to do this more often. And I'm going to start reading some of your top comments in the next videos, so make them good below. To the patrons and sponsors, thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Go clear out the wish list, and a Merry Christmas to those of you who are watching this at just like a confusing time